Hello there. This is John Ruman, International Business Coach and Consultant, where today I'm going to discuss creating structured water or Soleil water. And this is a follow-up to a question I had and a live I had done about hydration a couple weeks ago. So if you missed that, I'll put the link in the comment section or when it's on YouTube. Hey Tanner, good to see you, brother. I will put the information about that one in the link so you can check it out as well. Or just search my page for hydration. So, not all water is created equal. Most of the water we drink is not ideal today, and I'll reiterate that. But the important thing is you understand that we are designed to get our water from a couple sources. And let me tell you briefly what those sources are. Hey, Tristan, good to see you again, brother. The sources of water you're supposed to get your hydration water from are streams, rivers, springs, or rainfall. So the reason why those are so important is a couple things. Understand that it's moving water. Notice they're highly mineralized water, and a modern version of how to take care of that is well water. So well water is a highly mineralized version of spring water and all the others. So I'm not ever discounting the others, but it's important to understand that you must have these in your high level of minerals. And why are minerals so important? Minerals allow your body to metabolize vitamins more readily and have a higher absorption level. It's a symbiotic relationship with vitamins and minerals. That's why you often hear vitamins and minerals. So what I'm going to do today is assume you don't have well water. I'm going to assume you don't have a spring, and I'm going to assume you don't have the finances to buy Parisian spring water. And there's some bottled waters you can get that are awesome, but many are terrible, and I'll briefly go into that. So the big problem with those waters is they're stored in plastic, clear, soft plastic, which leaches BPA, not healthy for your body. And they're usually just simply, literally untapped, uncleaned water, unfortunately, or they're actual reverse osmosis water. Problem with reverse osmosis, well, hopefully the polluted water is very obvious, but reverse osmosis water is what is called, well, it basically, in the chemistry world, they use it to dissolve everything because it will literally dissolve minerals within your body. So it's not the best thing. So what I'm going to show you now is how you can recreate a high mineral, healthy, vibrant, energetic water without finding a local spring. The ideal is to find a spring, ideally. This is truly the best. Get a great spring, test it, make sure it doesn't have certain negative properties to it, and you're off. But most river water don't drink, and stream water don't drink. So find an awesome well, good for you. There actually is a listing of, at least in the United States, of those and the ones that have been tested, etc. So there's actually a website for that. So there's a few components to this. So I'm going to assume you have distilled or reverse osmosis water. And what that water has is virtually nothing in it. It is exceptionally clear. And what that's going to do, until you mineralize it, it'll leach minerals out of your body. So we're going to create a balance so that doesn't happen. First things first, you're going to get, ideally, this is the ideal in the perfect world, you're going to get a stainless wide bottle, either something this size or something bigger. And the reason is the hard plastic bottles still leach. I know they're BPA free, the ones you buy now, but they're just not ideal. And when you clean them with a brush, you slightly brush the plastic on the inside. The problem with that is microparticulates of the plastic get there and they get in your system. Just not the healthiest thing in the world. So stainless is the ideal, and this one is, I believe this is a 24 ounce, but it also has a stainless top, so it's purely stainless. So that's that. So you need a stainless, ideally, water bottle. Second, versus the hard plastic. So you can start with the hard plastic, but if you're doing reverse osmosis or distilled water, it is designed to leach. It will leach more out of the plastic, putting that in your body. Again, not what you want. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add two powerful components to that to remineralize the body. So if you remember, if you're watching closely, what are the two primal or original sources of water that we would get? Spring, stream, river. Those are kind of one. And two, rain. So I'm going to cover the rain first, and then I'll cover the soleil part after. So one of the main things that rainwater has in it is something called MSM. And this, I'm not necessarily pushing Now brands, but I just happen to have a MSM bottle. And methyl sulfomethane. It's a sulfur compound, and this is a major part of rainwater. And one of the main challenges in our bodies today is we don't get this compound in our system. There are some amazing things that have been written about this compound, and I actually have a website. It's often been called the miracle supplement, MSM. It's amazing. And one of the things it does fundamentally is it allows the cell membranes to be more permeable, so they're allowed to get rid of toxins and allow nutrients. So it allows the cell membranes to be more permeable. It improves skin health and complexion. It improves your flexibility because what it does is it actually enables the joints to become more limber versus being stiff and brittle. It detoxifies the body, and one of the big things it does is it is a calcium phosphate dissolver. And what that means is, as we get older, if we have too much calcium and not enough magnesium, potassium, and zinc, and a couple other things, the body will deposit calcium in areas you don't want. So arthritic conditions, bone spurs, other challenges people get can be remedied or partially remedied by MSM, just because it's designed to actually pull excess calcium away. MSM is a major part of your hair and nails. Not that, look at that beautiful hair. So it's a natural part of your hair and nails, and it helps the body to heal and accelerates healing because it, again, of the allowing the cells to be more permeable and help them eliminate waste more efficiently. It naturally increases energy. I'm actually reading this one. It helps the body to digest more effectively. It's really quite amazing. And because it's so good at helping the metabolic waste, it is an anti-inflammatory as well. So it's a pretty amazing product. And again, it's called MSM. You can get it online. It looks like almost like a salt. Looks like a white powder. And what you do with the MSM is you put it in a brine thing. See how mine's labeled MSM. And you take it and you just add 1 squirt to a bottle like this. That's 24 ounces. So that's part 1 of what you're doing. Part 2 is you are going to buy ideally one of these two. One is pink salt. I'm sure you've seen it at the store. It has a beautiful pink color. Or Celtic sea salt. And the reason for those versus iodized salt is they are mineral rich. The salt you are probably, the table salt you're probably accustomed to, has been stripped of minerals and has iodine added. And it actually is a high stressor for the body to consume it, and it actually creates inflammation. It really stresses the body out. So what the Himalayan pink salt does is it has trace minerals, 84 of them actually. And what you do is you make a saturated brine with it. So you take another one of these droppers, and this one is, as you labeled, brine, and you put the pink salt or this Celtic sea salt in there until, when you're looking at it, the very bottom after a day, usually you need to make a couple of these. The bottom has a little bit of residue in the bottom, and what that is the minerals within the sea salt itself depositing on the bottom. If that has not happened, it's not fully saturated. So you need to continue to put sea salt in here until you have a little bit of the minerals at the bottom and a little bit of the visible salt on the bottom, which means it's fully saturated. Okay? And that is what they call Sole. If you look up SOLE, it has a huge amount of body benefits. And one of the major benefits, if you remember, your body needs a lot of minerals. So what the Soleil will do is it will give the water an electrical charge. And we're electrical beings. The way our muscles move is electric current. And all you have to do is put 1 or 2 squirts of the saturated brine in here. It won't ping your blood pressure, and feel free to test it if you have a blood pressure pump thing to check your blood pressure. It should not touch your blood pressure. For a lot of people, their blood pressure actually goes down using pink salt versus regular salt. But what this will do is it'll energize and charge the water. It will taste soft, and what you're going to find with this is because you're giving it MSM and because you're giving it the saturated brine, you're going to notice that it tastes soft. If you know a soft water, it's a mineralized water. And because it is soft, what is it going to do? It's not going to pull harmful minerals from your body anymore. It will give your body a nice balance and a healthy balance of minerals to give your body the minerals it needs. So that's the benefit. So you take reverse osmosis water, so you buy an RO unit or you buy gallons of whatever distilled or RO water, and then you carry around these stainless steel bottles, again, so they don't leach, and then you give it MSM and you give it Soleil or saturated brine, ideally pink Himalayan sea salt. You can use Celtic sea salt. There's a couple other sea salts you can get in the world that are also beneficial, but these are the main two. There's one in France. There's a couple of these. There's one in Hawaii, one in Japan, but these are the two very common ones. And unfortunately, the pink salt may be mined out in the next few years because this is so popular. But if you do this on a regular and consistent basis, you're going to notice a few things. One, you're going to have a lot more energy. You're going to notice you'll sleep better, you'll have more clarity, you'll probably lose weight. A lot of people, by the way, lose weight just from switching from iodized salt to pink salt because they often put too much iodized salt, which helps them retain water. And the pink salt doesn't have that because you usually don't need nearly as much. So there's a lot less sodium intake and more mineral intake, but not as much sodium intake. So again, this will create a good electrical charge in your water. You'll probably lose some weight. You'll feel more energetic. And water is really, really delicious when you do it this way. So this is kind of the ideal. There's probably a couple other small things you do, but these are probably the primary things that everyone can easily and readily do. So in quick summary, why do you do this? To make it so we're as close to real water sources as possible. Rainwater, spring water, clean river, clean stream water. So those are the original healthy sources. Obviously, you're not going to drink from a stagnant lake. Obviously, you're never going to drink directly from the ocean. So those are obviously out. But taking the way we have now, this is a way to do that. So you take this clear, clean water, reverse osmosis water from the filter you install, and then you give it mineralization with the MSM, the saturated brine or Soleil, S-O-L-E. Again, all you do is you fill this until it's fully saturated. It needs to sit for 24 hours before you know it's saturated. And then the benefit of the stainless is it does not does not leach, and you can wash it out, and any bacteria in there once it dries are totally gone, because water bottles will stink after a couple days because they'll build an algae and bacteria on the walls. So you can clean that without worrying about any leaching happening, and then you'll feel amazing. So let me know what questions you have. I would love to hear your feedback, and I know this has been super helpful for me. So if you know someone who needs to understand how to drink water and all this, I don't have the person's name in front of me who asked for this detail, but I appreciate you, whoever you are, in your question. I just don't have that in front of me, but thank you for your question. Any further questions or feedback, I welcome it because I'm always trying to make these things better. And if you're trying to do some research on these things, MSM is one. Again, it's a sulfur compound found in water, and various high quality sea salts around the world. Sea salts, by the way, when they dry in the sun and because of the natural properties of sea salt with all the free negative ions, the negative ions, they'll actually pull away a lot of the harmful things that even a not the healthiest ocean in the world will have in it. There's a lot of things that salts in it in the sun drying can stop that are in polluted water. So it's not as awful as people think. But that's the beauty of the Himalayan pink salt. It's literally a mind of dried former ocean bed. So all the best. Let me know any questions you have. Going in real quick, this is all about the stress workshop that I'm having here. And let me see the countdown. So this workshop starts in 11 days. It is on Sunday, the 26th of August. There's my beautiful, handsome face. What's up? And it's from 3 to 5. It's in St. Augustine. And what is all about? It's going to be several stress relief techniques, including one that will help you be more heart focused, one that will greatly reduce the level of stresses you have in your life, and it will also have one that is or a time frame will spend on how you can reduce the level of stresses you have in life, how to minimize, mitigate, and eliminate stresses in your life. So that is what is covering. The investment for the workshop is $125 TT prepay, $175 day of. Again, it's in St. Augustine, and the people who have experienced it before have loved it. So I would appreciate you coming so you can relieve the stress you have. So if you're not sleeping well, if you stay awake at night, if you feel things just aren't going well and you're kind of building negative momentum, this can really help you to overcome that. So thank you for the opportunity today. I hope you become more properly hydrated, and I look forward to seeing you at the next workshop. Thank you.